Hello, and welcome back to Curlington Stories. If you're new here, welcome to you too. Today, I have 3 very interesting stories for you. Now, they all follow kind of a similar theme as usual. Let me just tell you, they are some of the absolute craziest stories I've ever heard. And I'll just give you the titles of them right now so you can kind of get a little taste of what I'm talking about here. So the first story we're going to be going over is, am I the asshole for wanting to leave my disabled husband? It's an interesting one. Story 2. Am I the asshole for not wanting my incestuous cousins at my wedding? And 3. Am I the asshole for saying to my mom at family dinner, well, I wouldn't stay with the man who hits my kids, so I guess we have different priorities. So yeah, this is gonna be a long one. Make sure you guys are well equipped for the shit coaster that this is going to be. Favorite drinks, favorite snacks, all that good stuff, because we're about to get going here. So anyway, back to the first story. Am I the asshole for wanting to leave my disabled husband? For a bit of background, I, 35F, have been married to my 46M husband for about 8 years. I work full-time in a pretty labor-intensive job, and he is unable to work due to a back issue, which has left him with mobility problems. He can walk a certain distance with an aid, can drive independently, and can mostly look after himself. He has been this way since I met him, although his condition is considered degenerative, so his symptoms won't ever get better, and have become a bit worse over the course of our marriage. I'm not gonna lie, when I first started reading this, I was like, is this Wings of Redemption and his wife Kelly? If you don't know what I'm talking about, I mean, you're not missing out on anything important. He's just a very well-known lolcow that sits at his computer and plays video games all day, but he does make money, but his wife also works, but he also doesn't do anything else besides stream. Anyway, I am his carer, so I do all the cooking, cleaning, walking the dog, shopping, looking after the household, etc. He plays video games exclusively. That's almost it. He sleeps for between 10 to 12 hours a day and plays video games most of the day and makes an insane amount of mess in the house ready for me to clean or deal with after a long shift at work. You know, I used to do that too. Well, I didn't sleep for 10 to 12 hours. I wasn't sleeping half my life away, but I'd sleep a lot and then play video games like all day. This was like right after I graduated from college, and I was like looking for a job, but I was like mad depressed because it was so hard to find a job. And I was like, oh my God, like, did I just waste 4 years of my life? My background's in physics, by the way, but I did end up finding a job eventually, a couple of it. So I kind of get it, but at the same time, the story only gets worse. And then find yourself not sympathizing with this guy all too much. He's not an incapable guy. I understand his back hurts him, but he is very capable of doing some household chores. The one chore he does in our house is putting the dishes away that I have washed. Otherwise, he won't do anything, citing back pain. I'd love to be more sympathetic to this. However, the issue is that he has bragged about washing dishes for his parents. He has offered to help clean their second property every week. He is thinking of helping a family member out in their business venture. He volunteers for 2 organizations. He helps out his friend occasionally at a manual job. He helps his father out with almost any DIY job he does. But he can't wash a dish at my house. He can't vacuum the floors without being asked multiple times. He can't simply not make an extreme amount of mess in the house for me to clean when I get home. Ooh, I could just feel the frustration on the page. You can tell this woman is passionately angry while writing this, and I totally respect that. Let's continue. I have done everything for this man for years, but his lack of consideration or participation in the running of our household, where he is so willing to help out everyone else, is really taking its toll on our marriage. I have left once before because of this, but ended up coming back after we made some changes. These changes were short-lived, and it's back to much the same. This is not the only reason I'm contemplating leaving again, but it is the thing I deal with day in and day out and have had multiple conversations about with no lasting change. Recently he said, it feels like I asked him to run a marathon when I asked him to help with something. He also said I should expect baby steps from him because he has only ever lived with his parents and then with me. We have been together for more than a decade. He is pushing 50 and I have left because of this before. Baby steps is crazy, right? He says I knew his back condition would affect our lives. I should have been prepared when we got married. I didn't know it would be like this. Not that he'd not do basically anything and have the perfect excuse when it's time to help me out. Still, am I the asshole for thinking of leaving again? Should I be more sympathetic? Let me just say this This guy sounds like a deadbeat fucking loser. Let me just put it that way. Now, like I mentioned previously, you know, I've struggled with depression in the past, right? You know, right after I graduated college, you know, things were a little rough. I'm like, God, am I ever gonna be able to find a job? Like, what's going on here? You know, like, and I would lay in bed and play video games all day and just hang out on Discord and do basically nothing and survive off of Uber Eats. That was a rough time, not gonna lie to you. But at the same time, I was still adamant about trying and, you know, wanting to be successful and wanting to do things with my life. Now, this guy seems content with having you as a service worker for him, for having you as his personal maid. I don't think he sees you as a wife or really a partner. He just sees you as somebody that takes care of him. You are literally his carer and nothing more. I mean, sure, he might love you to some degree, but not enough to help you with household chores and just to make excuses when he's fully capable of helping you. I mean, I understand you have some back pains and back issues, but I mean, washing dishes, I mean, you could probably get by, you know, doing that without hurting your back too much. As long as you're not bending over, you're gonna be fine. Plus, they've demonstrated that they are capable of doing that. So what's the excuse? Oh, it's simple. They don't want to help you. They want you to do everything, even though you work a full-time job. You're the breadwinner and you also take care of the house. Get out of that relationship. You are not gonna be an asshole if you leave. You absolutely should. I mean, you've done it before. It sucks that you came back. Because the truth is, this guy is taking you for granted. And a lot of people don't know what they have until it's gone. And you need to teach this loser that lesson. You already tried to once, and even then they were too dense to fully understand. I mean, they made the whole, oh, I'll change thing, but the truth is, some people never change. I mean, life really has to smack them in the face before they make any substantial, meaningful change. And that sounds like this is no different from what you're experiencing with this lad. Now, he really does remind me of Wings of Redemption because their situation is very similar, except Wings of Redemption streams and he actually makes money for the household while not doing anything else, but he still makes money. Now, this guy, I don't know why he's not streaming. I mean, you're playing games for 10 to 12 hours, you may as well stream, make a couple bucks, you know, help your wife out. I mean, maybe she'd be less angry with you if you were making some money. Granted, in reality, you should just be helping with chores and the housework. I mean, you're home 24/7. You really don't have an excuse. Back pain's not an excuse. I mean, back pain's not stopping you from sitting in a chair and playing games all day, which is one of the worst things you can do for your back, but yet here you are. Yeah, no, this guy is a loser. He does not deserve your help, your aid, nothing along those lines. You're not the asshole, he is, and you should get a move on. Find somebody better. Find somebody worth your time that'll actually appreciate you and help you. It's that simple. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this story in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. I'm very curious to see what you have to say. Anyway, let's move on. Now, just by the title, I can tell this one is going to be a doozy. Anyway, am I the asshole for not wanting my incestuous cousins at my wedding? Before we even get into this, let me say, I don't have any family members that fit that criteria by any means, nor did my wife when we got married. But there were some people, you know, that we didn't want there for, you know, certain reasons. I mean, granted, you know, I don't want to say too much, but they did say some things at a previous family member's wedding that almost fits this title description just a little bit, and I will not go into detail on that. Point is, that was one of the driving forces for me not wanting them at our wedding, and my wife also didn't want them at our wedding, and plus a list of other reasons. So I get that, I understand that. But then for some reason, other family members want to contest you on that sort of thing, and sometimes you have to budge or else everybody starts crying and it just becomes a whole mess that you don't want to deal with. At least that was my situation. I don't know exactly how this is gonna go, but let's find out together, shall we? I'm getting married this August, and there's some controversy with my family over who's invited and who isn't. I'm not comfortable with my cousin Rod, 31M, and pregnant cousin Ireland, 17F. Bruh. First off, I mean, forget the 14-year age gap. They're 17. How is this even legal? Like, what the fuck is that, dude? This is some Alabama shit on God. No offense if you live in Alabama. Y'all know the running joke. I don't mean it, but a simple joke. All right, don't get all your britches in a bunch, you know? Anyway, being at my wedding as they're in what I think is an inappropriate relationship. Not only is she way too young and pregnant with his baby, they're also related. Their parents are siblings. I thought this would be an obvious issue, but my family sees no problem with it. Yeah, definitely takes place in Alabama. I'm calling it right now. My aunt Rhonda, oh, definitely. Rod's mother heard that he wouldn't be invited. She freaked out. She couldn't believe that I wasn't inviting my own cousins to my wedding. Maybe they don't want to have that trashy Alabama garbage at their wedding. Did you think about that? When I explained why I was uncomfortable with it, Rhonda said that I was the only one in the family who thought so, and I shouldn't make such a big deal. After being confronted by the rest of my family on the matter, I gave in and sent Ireland and Rod an invite. I was already unhappy with it, and to make matters worse, Ireland is insisting on wearing a white dress. I explained why her choice of outfit would be disrespectful. She argued that she would get to wear a white dress as she and Rod haven't gotten a wedding, despite her being pregnant. Now this is the only issue my fiance has. She was fine with the age gap and incesting because love is love, but Ireland wearing white is apparently too far. Brother, how were they okay with the incestuous illegal relationship that is like, bruh, there's so many wrongs here. I can't even begin to process them all. And yes, the white dress is also a problem. That's like the nail in the coffin. Like, we were already 6 feet under suffocating, and then this really closed it all off. But alas, let's finish the story first. I honestly don't know what to do. I feel like I'm going crazy because this situation is so obviously wrong in my eyes, but nobody around me thinks so. I don't want to disappoint them, but I really don't want Ireland and Rod in my wedding to mess things up. Does anyone see where I'm coming from, or am I the asshole and just don't realize? I'll keep everything $1.75 with you. This is disturbing, to say the absolute least. Now, I absolutely would fight tooth and nail to not have these people at my goddamn wedding. And so my wife. My wife, if we were in this situation when we had our wedding, we would not budge. At least with the other, family members that we didn't want to come, they weren't at this level. It wasn't this crazy 14-year age gap where one person in the relationship was only 17 and they also wanted to wear white, which is extremely disrespectful. Everybody knows, unless you're like the flower girl, or sometimes there's some designated people that might, have to wear white, or that might be a part of a certain culture or tradition. I've seen it before. Then you're not supposed to do that. It is extremely disrespectful. How dare you? And because you didn't have a wedding, I missed the part where that's my problem, and coming from this person's perspective, of course. Like, what is that? What is going on here? This is so problematic on so many levels. I can't even like put it all together. It's really like screwing with my brain right now. So not only is it an incestuous relationship, it's one of them is seriously like way too young to be with the other person, and they want to wear a white dress, and the whole family thinks it's perfectly normal and fine. What in the Alabama? What in tarnation, your darn tootin' yeehaw the fuck is going on? Like, this is bizarre. I'm really shocked by it. I really want to know what you guys think. I'm sure you'll have plenty to say about it, but it's a head scratcher, to say the least. And of course, the verdict is no, you are not the asshole. I don't let them gaslight you into thinking that. I mean, sometimes family gets so complicated because a lot of people are like, family's family, no matter what they do. They can, Uncle Bob can go and slit Aunt Sally's fucking throat, and they'll still be like, invite Uncle Bob to the wedding, family's family. I know he's being tried for murder right now, but that's okay, he's family. Some people are seriously like that, and it's crazy. Obviously this isn't a case of apparent murder happening, but it's still something extremely problematic, and I feel like it's just so bizarre that they're being gaslit into believing that this is some sort of normal occurrence, and I'm here to tell you it's not. Anyway, it's time for the last story. Am I the asshole for saying to my mom at family dinner, well, I wouldn't stay with a man who hits my kids, so I guess we have different priorities? I mean, initially, without context, I'd be like, yeah, that's a pretty assholey thing to say, but, as per usual, once you read the story, it might flip your opinion a little bit. So let's see what they say. I'm low contact with my parents because growing up, my dad was physically abusive and my mom was emotionally absent and neglectful. They are in town visiting other family members, and we all decided to have a family dinner to catch up. For some background, my boyfriend will usually get me a nicer main gift for whatever holiday we're celebrating, along with 1 or 2 smaller side gifts. The side gifts are usually something like a funny t-shirt or a stuffed animal. Last year for my birthday, one of the smaller gifts my boyfriend got me was a sweatshirt from Costco. It's just a gray sweatshirt with Costco's logo printed repeatedly all over it. My boyfriend said he just saw it and thought I would like it, and he was right. I really like it, and I wear it all the time. I wore the Costco sweatshirt at family dinner last night. One at the table compliments, and I said, thanks, my boyfriend got it for me for my birthday. My mom scrunched up her nose and loudly said, he got you a sweater from Costco for your birthday? What a bitch. I told her that wasn't the only thing he got me for my birthday, and she replied, oh good. I would never stay with the man who gave me a sweatshirt from Costco as a gift. This is where she fucked up. It's at this moment she knew. She effed up. I was pretty off at that point, so I said, well, I wouldn't stay with the man who hits my kid, so I guess we have different priorities. I gotta take a moment here. Wow, what a comeback. I'm not a petty person. Again, I'd bite my tongue. I would bite my tongue. I'm sure that thought would cross my mind, but I'd bite my tongue. I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't embarrass him like that, you know? You can't recover from that type of emotional damage. Like, that is a crippling blow. Like, she may never be able to walk again after that kind of shit, after that kind of embarrassment. My mom didn't really respond at that point, and I could tell my dad was pissed. They stayed pretty quiet throughout the rest of dinner. I don't like when I bring up the fact that they used to hit us kids in front of people outside of our immediate family. Mom and dad were pretty angry at me when everyone else left and told me there was no need to embarrass my mom at dinner. They asked me to apologize, and I won't. I'm second guessing though. Am I the asshole? Oh, this one's a little complicated. I want to say no, she's not an asshole. I mean, I feel like it's not great to lash out at people, even if they are being shitty to you. That's just how I am. I'm just a peacekeeper kind of person. I like to keep the peace. But that doesn't mean I feel like that needs to apply to everyone at all times. I mean, the mom deserved to have reality spat in her fucking face, you know? Allowing the father here, or partaking in it really, you know, to completely destroy a family relationship with your own kids by being abusive, you know, allowing that behavior to happen and normalizing it, that's problematic, you know, that shouldn't happen. Like, having an abusive father is not a good thing for anybody. And so it is concerning at the very, very, very least. And also the mom's being a total see you next Tuesday here by, you know, making fun of the gift. Like, fuck you. Like, some people enjoy the small things. Like, my wife and I, when we give gifts to each other, it's usually like a bunch of little things, sometimes like in combination with like a bigger thing or something. Like, I've, you know, built my wife a computer, you know, you can see her monitor and stuff behind me, buying her a new gaming chair, an additional monitor soon. But, you know, we also do like small gifts too, t-shirts, stuff like that, things, you know, things that we just find, you know, and I think that's a wonderful thing. And to each their own. It's not your place to judge somebody's gift giving in a relationship. So the mom's a total asshole for that. I just don't know if this was the time and place to lash out like that. But I mean, obviously this person has a lot of, you know, built up anger, some resentment towards them over many, many, many years. And this could be the first time that it's come out, and you can't really blame them for that. I mean, that's definitely not worse than what they had to endure as children because of the father in this relationship. So I'm gonna say not the asshole. Was it an assholey thing to do in some regards? Sure, but overall I'd say no. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, please hit that like and subscribe button. See you guys next time.